Okay, I use 1 to 2% fat cottage cheese.
What is this whole thing that you're doing today?
This is called the Budwig diet. I call it my flax meal. Dr. Budwig was a German doctor back in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, nominated for Nobel Prize 7 times, was in charge of nutrition for the country of Germany, and she healed many people back before we had PET scans, right? God gifted that woman, and she was an amazing talent. She's written very technical books, and she described the process for healing and how you had to eliminate toxicity from your life, from your diet, and put nutrition in. And she explained all that in her books. She even told me which oil to use, Marlene's flax oil with no lignans, filtered, right? It's got a red label on it. The one with lignans in it has the green label, and she said I want it filtered because the lignans to go rancid. Flax seeds, once they're ground, they go rancid, right? So she didn't want it to taste rancid. So I'm going to show you something. If I'm making an individual portion, I am saturating that with oil. A lot of people that are doing this are putting a little bit of oil in, super saturated solution. You want as much as you can get. Omega-3, oxygen molecules. You're oxygenating the cells in your body to heal yourself of cancer. So this is what she did. And she said this stuff has to be, it's got to be mixed. There's an intimacy that takes place between the oil and the cottage cheese. The oil's got a negative charge, the cottage cheese has a positive charge, your gut has a negative charge. It's going to turn into a positive charge so that your body readily absorbs it, right? And all this stuff gets into your body in a healthy way. So you're getting a lot of omega-3s here. And so what I'm going to do is whip this up with an immersion mixer. It only takes a few seconds. And by the time I'm done, there won't be any free oil sitting on top of it. It's going to look creamy like a yogurt. Now, there's no oil. Homogeneous, super saturated solution. Okay. So then she said, I want you to use Brazil nuts and walnuts. They've learned scientifically that selenium is an element, just like copper is an element, and your body needs traces of selenium for healing. Cancer patients are usually very low in selenium. It hardly exists. The richest sources of selenium are Brazil nuts and walnuts. I take Brazil nuts and walnuts, instead of having them whole, I grind them and I make something that's very easy. I don't have to chew it, and I put it in there. So I take, you're supposed to use like 5 Brazil nuts and 5, the equivalent weight of walnuts.
Is this for one cocktail or for 5?
1.
Okay.
I'm doing a sample for 1, then I'm going to make a bigger one. Okay. So I'm going to put my nuts in there. So this is Brazil nuts and walnuts. Okay. And then she said, there's so much power in these flax seeds, and I want you to get the lignans, but I want you to eat it as soon as you make it, before it turns rancid, before it oxidizes. So I pour it in my little grinder, a whole tablespoon. I err on the high side, not on the low side. Matter of fact, when I had cancer, I did this, what I'm doing right now, twice a day. And 2 more times a day, I would grind flax seeds, put it in unsweetened almond milk, and drink it. So I had it 4 times a day coming into my body. Okay. So I got all this powder here, put it in there. Now, she said, I want you to have antioxidants in your body. Antioxidants. Where are we going to get them? Berries are rich in antioxidants. So I get a lot of frozen berries. And because the nutrients are preserved when they freeze it. So I get these frozen berries and I put them in there. And this is almost ready to eat. Now, frozen, often I buy like blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries. Because strawberries are so big, when they freeze, they get hard.
Yes.
And I can't grind them. So I'm gonna, for this particular one, I'm gonna get out the smaller berries.
They look like raspberries.
What?
Raspberries, blueberries.
Yeah,
Blackberries looks like.
yeah. So I'm gonna put my berries in there. Now this is gonna be a pretty full glass.
Yes.
And I use a lot of berries. I use more than this thing can handle. I'm a pretty big guy. Takes a lot to fill me up. Actually, I'm not, but I can consume a lot of this stuff. See, I've got too much for my little jar. But I'm doing show and tell. Now, I realize my little buddy over here, Paula, had a tough time starting with this, eating the paste. And I said, okay, Paula, we're eating and drinking all the time anyway. Let's make it so you can drink it, right? You're getting the nutrients in. You're gonna be drinking anyway. So what kind of drink are we gonna put in there? So I used this unsweetened almond milk and I put it in. And I turned it into like a milkshake. So then all of a sudden Paula found it a lot easier to take this in, right? Now, I need to do a little bit more homework on Dr. Budwig because she told me to top this thing off with a little honey. Okay. Now she knew that bees went out and got some nutrients from all these flowers and stuff around. And man hadn't messed with this. And she said, make sure it's raw honey, right? Make sure it hadn't been tainted with sugar like a lot of the clover honey you get. They've already spiked it with stuff. So I put honey in here to give me that other bee-generated nutrient, plus it's sweet. It's the only sweet I take in. So we put our flax seeds in, we put our Brazil nuts, our walnuts, we got a load of antioxidants in here. Antioxidants to satisfy the free radicals in your body to reduce oxidative stress. And now we got a very healthy thing that the body's gonna have a positive response. So I'm gonna pour this in a glass. And it can be drank with a straw or whatever.
With your straws.
All right. It looks amazing.
It is amazing.
It's like a
It is
sundae.
amazing.
Wow.
I used to have
So-
sundae cups, and when you get it solid and it put the milk in, I put a strawberry on top and make it look like a sundae.
So Pete, you're a special guy. I'm gonna give Paula the first one.